Well, a very good afternoon. This is Younib TV News at 1. My name is Joseph Kamau. Now on to our first story. The CS Public Service Justin Muturi is facing rage from MPs allied to President William Ruto after he faulted the government for failing to address abduction cases that have gone rampant in the country. The Fury Kenya Kwanza lawmakers have threatened to file an impeachment motion to oust him from office. However, CS Muturi dared the MPs, saying, "Bring it on." Earlier, Muturi had recorded a statement at the DCI where he linked Intelligence Service NIS Director Nurdin Haji. Here reports.
Because tuko na siku 14 ndio to resume bunge. Justin Muturi, you have 3 options. Ya kwanza, resign. Ya pili, apologize to ignore your maneno. Ya tatu, we impeach you.
I would just say bring it on, I'm at my age, I'm not the kind of person to respond to some of it is really very perfunctory statement made by fairly inexperienced politicians. I think they are not worthy my response. So if anybody thinks that I don't know what I'm doing, then they are up for a rude shock. The removal of a cabinet secretary is very simple. Just go to Article 132. It says the president may appoint with the approval of the National Assembly, may nominate, and with the approval of the National Assembly, appoint and dismiss cabinet secretary. So even when I took this job, I was fully aware of those professions.
Now, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has called on Kenyans to use social media responsibly and respectfully when criticizing the government. The DP, who was speaking during the issuance of title deeds in Jukuni, Taita Taveta County, says criticism should be done in a more orderly way to enhance national unity and progress. He, however, acknowledged the right of citizens to hold the government accountable, but insisted that it should be done in a more robust way. Here,
we can have differences of opinion, but let's express our differences of opinion with decorum, with maturity. We can disagree, but we don't have to fight. We don't have to hurt one another, because this is our country. Kwa hivyo, wale ambao wako na maoni tofauti, mko na uhuru wa kutoa maoni tofauti, lakini tufanye kwa njia ya ustaarabu na njia ya heshima. Hiyo ndio itafurahisha Mungu, na hiyo ndio itatufanya tuwe nchi ambayo ni nchi ya watu ambao wako na heshima na wanapendana wao kwa wenyewe. Mambo ya siasa ikifika, kura inapigwa, mtu anapigia ule anapigia, story inaishia hapo, tunabaki tukiendelea tukiwa wa Kenya. Ile tu tunaomba ni kwamba haisaidii kutumia matusi ndio kuletewa maendeleo. Uwezi tafuta maendeleo kwa kutusi watu wengine ama kwa kutusi viongozi. Tuwe na heshima, na hiyo sio kusema hatuwezi kutofautiana na serikali. Mwananchi anaweza kuwa na maoni tofauti, viongozi wa upinzani wanaweza kuwa na maoni tofauti, lakini jameni, tuwe na heshima. Tujue baada ya mambo hayo yote tutabaki kuwa wananchi wa Kenya, watu wazima, wazee, vijana, kina mama, maana sisi zote hii ni nchi yetu.
Now let's shift focus to education. Now crisis has hit the education sector yet again after lecturers and staff of the Technical University of Kenya staged another protest in Nairobi over a non-payment of their salaries. The university dons marched through streets of Nairobi towards Parliament and Treasury buildings to demand for a 3-month salary.
You cannot expect employees of a public university in Nairobi, in the central business district of Nairobi, to be working for 3 months and earn a salary fraction for 1 month. There shall be no services if and until you address our issues.
Sisi tuko njaa, watoto wetu wako nyumbani. Swali ni kwamba Sisi tufunze wenu na wetu wakae nyumbani?
Haiwezekani.
Itawezekana kweli?
Haiwezekani.
Itawezekana kweli?
Haiwezekani.
Nakatwa pesa miaka 15.
Ugonjwa pia inacheka.
Tunaweka pamoja kama ya pension. Bilioni 5.3 imekunywa maji. Tunakatwa pesa yetu ya kulipia loans.
Yes.
Hatujui zinaenda wapi. Kila mtu hapa ako kwa CRB.
Now, still on matters education, now let's dive deeper into help. Now, university students now want the Higher Education Loans Board help to release funds to enable them clear fees in time and sit for end of semester exams scheduled for next week. Now, the students also want the Ministry of Education to release a statement clarifying the fate of first and second year students affected by the new university funding model.
I've not paid fees and the exams are due by 20th, and as we all know, we cannot do exams without registering. So we are calling upon the HELB CEO to release the students' money so that we can continue with our studies. Also, our upkeep, many of the students are really suffering. They are hungry. They are just sleeping in their hostels. They are doing nothing because they have no money to use in their expenditure.
I said around 500 students in my faculty did not join school. This is because they were affected by the new funding model. I talked with the Dean of Students at my faculty, and she confirmed that around 500 students were unable to join the university. So my question is, the new funding model was scrapped down. How are these students now who didn't join last year? Are they going to join the school this year, or what is going to happen?
The DUC was better, yes. Number one, all students were equal. Because we all pay equal taxes as Kenyans, so it made sense for us to pay equal fees. And every learner had an opportunity to pursue their cause. There were less cases of harambes, but since the NFM was introduced, every week you are added to a group of a harambe to changisha for a student who is joining campus. And most of those students who are being placed in those funny bands are from poor and needy backgrounds and cannot afford these fees. So if this is the problem when we are starting, what about 10 years, 15 years from now?
The government knew the schools were going to open. We had read somewhere that we had been assured by the permanent secretary that the funds are ready. Why the funds are yet to hit the account, nobody knows.
Now on to some sad news. 2 suspects linked with the murder of Kilifi IEBC official Aisha Abubakar will have to spend the next 21 days in police custody to give room for a thorough investigation on the unfortunate act. The suspect will be subjected to identification and grilling to establish their motive and find other accomplices connected to the killing.
The main reason as to why the investigating officer is seeking to detain the suspects is that he requires time to conduct an identification parade, record further statements, and take the exhibits for analysis. I've also indicated that the respondents are a flight risk. As such, they should be detained in custody for the period they have sought in court. The nature of the investigations is for a serious offense, that is murder. I therefore find that there are compelling reasons raised by the prosecution and the investigating officer to deny the respondents bond at this point and also to detain them in custody for the investigations to be finalized.
Now, shifting focus to some business news. Now, the finance bill of Migori County for the year 2024-2025, which has already started to be implemented, continues to evoke different feelings from some businessmen. Matatu operators are among the businessmen who oppose the increase in taxes by the Migori County government. The operators say they cannot afford the cost of obtaining a permanent license to operate their businesses within the county.
Saa hizi wanaongeza ushuru kutoka kwa 31,000 to 51,000 na hapo busback ya sori ni mashimo tu hata haijatengenezwa.
Sehemu tunafanyia kazi we called it busback. Ni biashara ya magari na imekuwa sehemu ya wafanyabiashara ya market. Ofisi zote SACCOS hazina ofisi. ofisi zote imeshikiliwa na watu wafanya biashara.
Ushuru tunalipa na tujakataa kulipa, lakini tunaona ya kwamba wewe unaambiwa tu lipa bila hao kusikia wewe uko comfortable na nini.
The current Finance Act, we did public participation as Finance Department, and then the Assembly also took the act to the public, and they went around the county, and then people gave their views. I don't understand how the majority owners did not get the information to present their views, but that's now water under the bridge. What we can now do is that we'll make sure that we engage them in the next Finance Act.
Lastly, diving into sports news, the African Nations Championship CHAN has been postponed to August 2025. The announcement was made by President Patrice Motsepe, who said that the decision was made following the advice from the CAF Technical Committee based in Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania, who observed that the 3 East African countries need more time to put infrastructure in place.
I have spoken to the Minister for Sports, Tanzania, this morning. He's traveling this afternoon to Kenya with his team. I've also spoken to the Minister for Sports, Uganda. He's traveling with his entourage today evening, so that by tomorrow afternoon or in the evening when we host this event, all of us will be there. And as you are aware, this event will be graced by none other than the head of state, His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto.
Well, we have come to the end of our news bulletin at 1 here at Younib TV. My name is Joseph Kamau. Have yourself a lovely good afternoon.